Do you have any interest in how Georgia Highlands markets, recruits, and enrolls our students? Well, please come and join us as I interview Executive Director of Strategic Communication, Meredith Bruno. Welcome to the GHC Faculty Lounge. I'm Travice Baldwin-Obas. I am pleased to have in the studio today Meredith Bruno. She is the Executive Director of Strategic Communication at Georgia Highlands College.
Yes.
Welcome,
well,
Meredith.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here on the show, but also as part of the Georgia Highlands family and community.
And a fairly new addition.
Yes.
You hit the ground running.
That's right. 4 weeks and 4 days today.
Wow. I love it. And I'm probably one of the first interviews.
That's
so
it,
I'm really
yes.
excited that you took time out of your schedule to be with us today.
Thank you.
Talk to us a little bit about what attracted you to Georgia Highlands, and then maybe tell us a little bit about the role and how it's shaping up.
Absolutely. So actually, I was a student at Georgia Highlands. I did my summer classes here on the Cartersville campus.
Wow, okay.
And well, I say that, but I was one of those students who took Billy Morris's geology class. Who knew rocks could come to life? Okay, so it was 2 weeks in the it was 2 weeks in the classroom, 2 weeks on the field, and so rocks are hard. I mean, and that's a pun, and I didn't mean for that to be a pun, but
hey, it works.
It did. So we learned a lot in the classroom, and then we went out, and I fell in love with Yellowstone and the Tetons. So much so that when I graduated college, I walked across the graduation stage, and then 2 days later was moving into my dorm at Old Faithful Inn, and I worked at the front desk planning tours and trips for the guests for that season. And then I went back for my honeymoon, and the joke was, I'm showing my love, but you didn't know which one was the love, right? So just an incredible class, an incredible man, but truly
what a great story.
What a wonderful place to be.
Well, I'm so glad that you have that tie and connection to Georgia Highlands, because here's the thing, we get some really wonderful people working at our institution, and even more so compelling to hear that our students enjoy the experience so much that they also want to come back and work with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Executive Director of Strategic Communications.
Yes.
So what does that mean? What do you get to do?
Right. I think a little bit of everything. The beauty is, since I started, I've gotten to meet so many people at Georgia Highlands, because communications, as you know, touches everyone.
Everything.
And so right now, the main focus currently is on recruitment and getting our name out there, making sure that incoming students know who we are and know where we are and how we can make their dream happen for them. So right now, really working with the recruiters on the road, making sure that they understand how to recruit and how to say the story of Georgia Highlands. And then from there, we've started talking about events and what the emails will look like. So then it's in student speak.
Yes.
Students don't like to read emails. So how do we make that?
How do we reach them?
Correct. And text messages and what's cool and maybe what's not cool that they've got to learn too. So it's a little bit of everything. But the beauty is I'll be able to work with students from sophomore in high school all the way through graduation.
That is such a needed role, and it has existed in different pockets.
Correct.
But I do think where we are at Georgia Highlands and how long our history has been, it really is necessary to have somebody like you pull all those puzzle pieces together.
Yes.
I remember when I first arrived at Georgia Highlands in 2003, and it was known as the best kept secret.
Yes.
And it's not that we don't want to acknowledge our history, but we also don't want to remain a secret.
Correct.
We want more and more people to know about the wonderful things that we're doing, the wonderful opportunities that we have coming down the pipeline.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that information with us about your connection to the institution. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, I know you live and work in the community. So you said you're in Bartow County, correct?
Yes.
So what's some of the best things to do in Cartersville?
Well, Cartersville, I like to say, is the center of the universe. Okay, somehow everyone relates back to Cartersville. So just fun fact, did you know the first outdoor Coca-Cola sign in the world is right downtown Cartersville?
Yes, I did know
so
that.
So you need to come and take your selfie. So when we go to lunch, whether it's at the Sweet Market or 8-Track.
Now you're speaking my language. I love Sweet Market.
Then you can take your selfie and put, so that's a neat experience that people don't know. I've seen a lot of students go and do like their prom pictures or homecoming pictures there now. But Cartersville and Bartow are booming, which is what makes Georgia Highlands, it's our time.
Yes.
Just seeing the growth happen and right there on 75, Georgia Highlands, great easy access for anyone coming on and off the interstate. Plus the new ball fields that we have now, it's just incredible.
And access to opportunity, I believe, is our slogan, correct?
Yes.
And I believe that really is overarching, but not only in the sense of knowing that you have something in your local community, but then also we welcome anybody.
Yes.
You know, and that's a really important element to add to the equation.
Absolutely.
In addition to fun places to eat and take selfies, what else should they do in Cartersville?
Well, we have a fun, I think it's fun, 1 mile hike that you can go to the top of Pine Mountain, come back down, and then on Main Street, if you go downtown, it's all the local. So you've got all the big name too, but places like the Four-Way, if you're ready for a sloppy hamburger, they're waiting for you. But if you wanted to go to the Periwinkle jewelry store, you can do that as well. We just had a lot of coffee shops open up. Noble and Main's a great one.
I've heard great things about them.
Yes, and we have a bagel place now that makes you feel like you're in Atlanta. But the town and the community are just darling. They support each other, and that's what I think is missing when you go larger, is to have that foundation and the support to help you grow, to help you get connected. There's anything from, we have an improv troupe to the historical society to running clubs. So depending on what your activity is, you or your student, your children, your grandparents could be involved and just be someone in that community.
I love the way you phrase that. And is there a website or somewhere that they can go to look up more places
Absolutely.
to visit?
I think it's visitcartersville.com.
Okay. So go there, visit cartersville.com, find out more that you can do in the local Bartow community.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention all of the museums, though.
Okay.
So we have the Savoy, which is actually next to our campus, and that's the car. Right now they have monster trucks. So if you've got children, now is your time to go.
Okay.
Monster trucks. Then we've got the Tellus, the booth, and the Bartow History Museum. So don't forget those.
So there's something for everybody. So definitely come and check us out and see all the wonderful things that Cartersville has to offer. So now that we've talked about some fun things to do, let's talk a little bit about kind of the day-to-day challenges. Sure. You know, I know you just hit the ground running, but I'm sure that there's a lot that you're trying to not only just kind of take in, but then you also have to offer some solutions to some things as well. What is one of the things that maybe surprised you that maybe wasn't being done enough or needed to be done to tell our story better?
Oh, this is a good one. So I think one of the things that surprised me the most is the support. And I know that you asked about a challenge, but if you don't have a driver, the support is there, but where do you put your efforts? And so I've offered an idea about hosting just information sessions on each campus, general information. And when I tossed the idea out, everyone said, yes, let's go. Do you need food? Who can, I can hold the door. I can reserve the room for you. And so though that maybe information sessions at night haven't been done, now we can do it. Right. And our community is supporting it. And I've been just so overwhelmed by the amount of desire to want to do things, but the desire to help students. And often when you're at larger universities, that kind of falls away because you've got the paperwork or the red tape. But here at Georgia Highlands, people want to help you succeed.
Yes, absolutely. I could not have said that better myself. That was one of the things that attracted me when I interviewed for the position here, is that the people that I was meeting were genuinely passionate about what they did.
Absolutely.
But then not only just that, you could tell they wanted to make sure that the students' lives were changed for the better.
That's right.
And I think that that's the cool thing, is that when we help students succeed in the classroom, we're really giving them the opportunity to live, work, and play in the communities that are here, and they stay here, and they get jobs here, they raise their families here, and that's a really important connection to us as well.
You could almost say it's a small college with big opportunities, because we were talking with the humanities department about what makes us special. Everyone has humanities, but what do we do? Well, our students get that hands-on experience with film or writing, which usually they have to wait till end of junior year, early senior year, and our students are already producing.
Doing it.
I mean, just phenomenal experience.
And in addition to that, one of the things that I think what is valuable about humanities, because there's value in every discipline, but sometimes humanities gets a little bit of a bad rap, and that it's fading and not as important as some of the other skill sets. But what we're noticing is that those soft skills that really humanities brings to the table are really necessary. You know, we want to create individuals that are impactful, that really bring a lot to the table, that are civic oriented and have a desire to help others. And what better discipline than to actually help them attain those goals? And that's what humanities does so well.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. Now let's talk a little bit about your family dynamic.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Well, so I grew up as an only child, and my husband said, you weren't ever an only child. You were born to be part of the team. And so I made a joke with my friends earlier that when I was going into my senior year of high school, I found a prom dress I wanted. And so I had to call my dad to get his credit card. And do you know what he did? He made me pay him back, which he should, and put interest on it. So I knew what it was like to have a credit card, and I would have to make weekly payments and sign my name.
Dad right there,
but he did end up giving it back to me after my 21st birthday. But I learned quickly.
The principle.
And absolutely. So, and now but I come from a higher ed family. So my father retired as the AVP of Enrollment Services from Kennesaw State, and my mother as the Dean of Institutional Research.
Okay, wonderful.
So I've understood higher ed. That was the dinner conversation. And so I met my husband actually at Kennesaw. He is the director of housing. So that's how we met, and we just got married in April. Thank you. It's a big change.
Yes.
And I actually got 2 bonus boys out of the deal. So I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old as well. And
so you are busy, ma'am.
We are busy, and they are phenomenal boys, and their mother is wonderful too. So they joke though that when we go on vacation, Meredith likes to vacation where colleges are. So anytime we go anywhere, if there's a college, both Chris and I are interested, and that's how I grew up too, is just let's go see what the campus looks like, even if it's a Sunday. But then we want to show them the importance of education, and it's about starting and understanding and then growing you as a person. So conveniently, there would be a college, and so, I mean, of course I planned it. So their Christmas trip last year, we went to Georgia Southwestern and got to see and had a tour and got to see Jimmy Carter's handwriting, and then went to his hometown of Plains and had the peanut butter ice cream, and to Providence Canyon. So, but conveniently there was a college on the way. So it's fun. Now, if you came to my office, there could be more photos of my dog than my husband. But she's been around longer, okay?
Hey, that's fair.
She came in my life first.
Fair.
So
I love it. Well, we have even so much more to talk about with Meredith, so please come back and join us after this commercial break.
Access to me means I get to explore and define myself.
Access? That allows me to follow my passion.
For me, it means I get to do what I've always dreamed of doing, helping people.
Access to me means I'm the first one in my family to come to college. Sé el primero.
Welcome back to the GHC Faculty Lounge. I'm Travice Baldwin-Obas. Once again, I am sitting here with Meredith Bruno, who is our Executive Director of Strategic Communication at Georgia Highlands College. And we've been engaged in some fun conversations so far. We've talked a lot about community. We've talked about the job that you have and the current role that you're playing at the institution. I want to talk a little bit about the future.
Oh, yes.
Because we have a lot of fun and exciting things happening at Georgia Highlands. So talk to us a little bit about some of the things that are coming up.
Sure. So we mentioned earlier, this is our time. Bartow is booming. Floyd is booming. I mean, Marietta, I think that has the busiest front desk of them all. And then Paulding County is just going to knock everyone's socks off. So things that you should see coming, open houses for our students and families, anything from our majors to even to offer Spanish sessions. So we've got a phenomenal recruiter, Jacqueline, who speaks Spanish and English, and so she can help either translate or lead the whole session in Spanish. So if you prefer that, she can do it. So I just praises to her for that. We are looking at being able to meet the student where they are. So whether you are an adult learner or you want to do continuing education classes or you have a dual enrollment student, we want to be the school for you. Even my mom said she might come back for the 65 and older and come for free to get a graphic design class. So she's already looking into that. So I think that's just so neat that Georgia Highlands has anything for everyone.
Exactly. And, you know, sometimes I think people talk a lot about this enrollment cliff and the age cliff and the things that we've known that were coming towards higher ed. But the idea that us being an access institution allows us to attract a large range of student populations. We get the traditional 18 to 23-year-old, but we also are heavily involved in the dual enrollment program. We also reach out with our night program. We also have what you mentioned with non-traditional students. So really there is something for everyone. And we are currently experiencing, of course, a shift in career readiness. I believe it's been there before, but definitely a lot more emphasis on making sure our students are career ready. What are some things that we at Georgia Highlands could be doing better? As far as that is concerned.
So, okay, when I have a student who has reported to me, I want to think of myself as Chick-fil-A. When you hire someone from Chick-fil-A, they're ready. You know they're ready. So if a student who has worked for me or has associated me comes out of my office, I want them to see, oh, this student came from Georgia Highlands. I know that they can compose an email. I know that I can send them to speak to the president or the CEO with confidence. I know that they can have their pitch out there and it's going to be perfect. So the confidence and the understanding, and even dabbling in Excel, that scares a lot of people, especially new young students, that they have the confidence, and if you don't know how to do it, that's okay, that you have the opportunity to Google it or to ask, and that's what builds confidence in a great employee and a great community service person.
Absolutely. I really like how you phrase that, because you're right that sometimes students are scared of the unknown. They much rather kind of feel safe in a space, but sometimes the opportunities lie within situations in which you are scared and trepidatious, and being able to have a guide. And when you have that accessibility at Georgia Highlands, we have very small class sizes. Your teachers know your name. You're able to come back to them for support and for information and for reference.
That's
so
right.
You're really right about that, being able to prepare those students for those outside experiences.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
Well, so I have a vision
Okay.
that one day, soon I'm hoping, that you'll be able to go to the local coffee shop and order the Bolt blend or the Charger plate or the blue and orange blueberry donut, that the community will start to buy into our mission and our goal of being part of the community and life in all of our campuses. I can see it happening soon, especially where our brick and mortar are. The Paulding campus, there's practically a coffee shop connected. It's the cutest coffee shop if you haven't been. So I could see it happening there, and that way people not only are believing in it, but they're also tasting it too.
Right. And those color combinations of the orange and blue, that connection there. And that really also helps our athletics. You know, one of the ways I know that we help retain and recruit is through our athletic program. And so I think that's another connection that we will see as well. It's been amazing to watch those ball fields go up in Cartersville.
I'm excited to see them play.
I mean, spring is right around the corner. It's going to be nice to be able to go out to games and really support our athletic program. I like these ideas that you have.
Be on the lookout for an open house that parallels with a game.
Okay.
So if you're thinking about coming to Georgia Highlands, on those open houses, we're going to give a ticket to the games. So then you can come and stay on campus longer, but see our athletics and feel the community.
Okay. Be on the lookout for that. We will definitely have more information at highlands.edu, so definitely check out our website for more information that is forthcoming. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about things Meredith likes to do for fun.
Oh, for fun. Okay.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
My spare time. So I grew up a runner. I didn't think I'd ever want to be a runner, and so then I was coaxed into it. And really, running is the only sport you can do by yourself or with a team. So I know all the different routes. I've done one marathon, and that was plenty. We don't need to do that.
Check. Bucket list.
Yes, that is it for that. I do have a group of girlfriends, and we like to hike. And we've done international trips. We've done Machu Picchu, and so it was 95 miles in a week. And you would hike to your next place that you would stay. If you think about an igloo, but make it glass, and then the light at night was the moon reflecting off the glaciers. So we started at one part, and then we went into the rainforest, and then we ended up at Machu Picchu. So that was our first one. Then we've done Patagonia. It is a location, and it's not just a brand. A lot of people don't know that. But the mountain range is there, and seeing Fitzroy is just as majestic as the Tetons. So if you can't get to one, go to the other.
Okay.
And then we've done Banff, and now we are going to Iceland in March.
Very
so
cool.
it's a lot of saving money, but we joke that we would rather eat lunch and don't go out and get the coffee and save it so then we can do these trips.
For experiences and the bonding that's there.
And it's just the girls. We leave the guys and the kids at home. It's just us.
Hey, that's the way to do
That's
it.
right.
You need that in your life. Okay. So other than hiking, what else are you passionate about?
So I like to invest in people. And so even driving here today, I was calling a girlfriend who lives on the other side of the state, just seeing how her job is going, how her son is. She's got a 1-year-old, and truly just being that person for them to make that difference. Other things, I am part of a running club, and runners are weird. We are very supportive. So if you beat me at a race, I'm coming to congratulate you. And so that's really neat. But and then a lot in investment into the community of Cartersville. I swore I would never go back to Cartersville when I graduated high school. So I bought a house 10 years ago right downtown, and we have a great community, whatever the community needs. So they needed tour guides for ghost tours the last 2 years. So I learned the script and I dressed in all black and had a scary hat, and I led tours for the community. So it's just fun, and then you kind of hear different stories and you meet different people that way. And we joke that we don't know anyone downtown because people are coming from Roswell or Atlanta to come to our shops and to our restaurants. So that's a lot of fun of just having that and being walking distance to everything for where we live.
Those are some great things. Okay. So in your spare time, those are all the fun things that you experience as well. So some other interesting facts. So let's say that there was a book or maybe a movie. Are you a movie or a book person or both?
Okay.
If there was one written about you or a movie, what would you title it?
Oh gosh.
Or if, one word.
So my maiden name is Head.
Okay.
So it would be A Step Ahead.
I like that.
So, and that goes back to when I was little, learning how to read. I was that first group that came through with dyslexia, and I couldn't read. I could not. And we were tested, and I was given all these things, and one of the first in my school to have a learning challenge, truly. So we worked, and I'm so grateful that I had parents that were supportive of, this is not going to be your crutch.
Exactly.
You're going to overcome it. So then the next challenge, you can learn how to do that too. Now, I might have to read with a colored piece of paper over so the white doesn't blink at me, but I found a workaround.
Yes.
And that's what life is.
Exactly.
It is not by the book. You have to find workarounds to be successful.
I love that.
And it ties into recruiting, it ties into relationships, all of it to truly just be successful.
Absolutely.
So maybe a step ahead.
I like that title. And if I were to ask somebody to describe you in maybe 3 words or less, what do you think they'd say?
Energy,
Okay.
passionate, and loyal. But they'd probably start with energy. I'm the early morning person.
Okay.
I've got the girlfriends. We're running at 5:45 just to get our steps in, and then I'm on to the next thing and already thinking of what we've got to do and how excited I am for the next. And I'm all in. I'm all in. I was teasing about the charger necklace that I purchased and have on, but I'm in. So when I've fallen in love, I'm in it.
I love it. Okay. So you were just nailing these.
Oh,
I'm loving
goodness.
it. Loving it. One of the other things that I'm always curious about when I interview different people, it's always wonderful to see passions and interests and hobbies. What do you think your legacy would be? I know you just started with us, but you've been really invested with Georgia Highlands for a long period of time, from the time you've taken classes with us. And what do you see as maybe the college looking like in the next 5 years or 10 years from now?
So the legacy. So I've got 2 answers for that. I pray, and we're going to work hard, that we are going to grow. I know Dr. Hobbs, our president, doesn't want to be a Kennesaw State or a Georgia State. We want to be that access institution. So I am praying to grow enrollment. My goal would be 8,000 to 10,000 before I retire, or even earlier, ideally. But my personal legacy is that every person I meet is treated with kindness and that they have been able to be a part of the mission. It's not just me, and I know it's not me. It's a team effort, and without the team, you're not successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could not have said that more eloquently myself. And that's one of the things that attracted me to Georgia Highlands College. There seemed to be an energy behind the individuals that I was meeting, but it almost seemed like it was less about them and always putting the student first. And that has not waned in the 20 years that I've been here. So I like that is also part of what you hope to leave behind when your time is up. The last thing I want to ask you is this. We talked about bucket lists, we talked about goals, we've talked about interests and passions. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
A superpower. Okay, so meeting Dr. Hobbs. He's everywhere all the time.
Omnipresent, that man.
So my superpower would be to fly to get to where he wanted to be before he got there.
Beat him to it. I love
Absolutely.
it.
And then, the seat, I always get the middle seat in the plane. So if I could just fly myself, that'd be great.
Just be there in a flash. Okay. Well, this has been wonderful conversation, Meredith. Thank you so much for coming. Please do not be a stranger.
Absolutely not.
There will be a lot happening at Georgia Highlands, and I hope that you definitely come back and talk to us more as things are always changing for the better and improving at Georgia Highlands College. We thank you so much for watching. If you would like to know more about what happens at Georgia Highlands College, please go visit our website at highlands.edu.